attendees on the top left. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds for people to join, and then I'll start. So good morning to those watching the recorded session. We're just waiting for people to join. So good morning. We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to join the session. I think we had 5 registered to attend, so hope everyone's doing well. Got coffee. I have my water.
It is coffee, yes. Good morning. I also have water. Yeah.
Oh, you're well prepared. You've done this. A veteran.
Well, I have to keep hydrated after doing lots of talking. So
yeah, of course. Okay.
And to be honest, the coffee dries the vocal cords, so it's not quite recommended.
It does, right? Yeah, it's dehydrating. Not the best. Okay, so I think just give it maybe 10 more seconds and then I'll do a little introduction. Okay. See? Okay, so welcome everyone. Hi, thanks for joining us for today's guest speaking event. My name is Valenza and I work at SenTalk. Some of you might already know us, some of you might not. We are a charity based in South London, which aims to provide better social and emotional mental health outcomes for children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities and their families. So today we're delighted to have Bella Ely with us. She'll lead us through a talk to show us how to use a powerful, simple tool, which is music, to support your kids to socialize easier, develop speech and language skills, boost their confidence, release anxiety, and improve their well-being. So we'll talk about the relationship between these things a bit more. So I'd now like to introduce Bella. She's a parent of a child with SEN and a teacher, and through her company, which is called the Autism Music Academy, she helps parents of children with SEN, teachers, and professionals that work with them to use music and simple musical games that work towards achieving goals and supporting children to thrive. So I will now hand it over to you, Bella, and you can let me know. You can cue me when you're ready for the slides. Thank you.
Yeah. Morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to have you here. And don't worry, you don't need to be musically trained or you don't need to have any musical knowledge at all to be able to help your children and have some fun with them and enjoy what you're doing with them. All the musical activities and musical games that I'm showing you, they all have one simple rule, and that is have fun with it. When children have fun, they enjoy what they are doing, they are learning, they will be engaging in the activity you are doing with them. So hopefully this will be of some help to you. If we can have the slides, please. We'll dive right into it. The benefits of music for healthy development. My promise to you for today is that I'm going to show you how can you support your autistic children and any children with special needs right now, and you will learn how to help them become more confident, how to communicate better, how to do speech, language, and communication games, how to help them release anxiety and frustration. So actually, their brain is not stuck into the fight, flight, freeze mode, and they are open to learning. But overall, you will see how music can help with increasing the well-being of our children. And we're going to start straight away with an exercise, because if we do it with a musical game, if we do it, then we'll be able to understand it better and learn it better. So if I can just, if you can just stop sharing for me, Valenza, for the moment, so that everybody can see me. And we're going to start by tapping our knees. Now, you can't see my knees over here, but they are there. So we're just going to start by tapping our knees. And you can join me. Tapping helps with self-regulating skills and bonding, tapping at the same beat, everybody. Hello, friends. Come and tap your knees with me. Nice and steady. Are you ready? Back to the knees. And we're going to say some syllables. My turn, your turn. Yes. Dum dum da ra dum 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 da ra dum 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 dum. Let's move to some words. Are you sleeping, Brother John? Morning bells are ringing, ding dang dong. And that's it. You've done it. Well done. Back to the slides. I'll come back to this exercise in a minute, but let's see. Maybe you are here today because you are a parent who noticed that their children express themselves through music. They are attracted to music, and even though they might be nonverbal, this doesn't stop them humming to themselves or trying to sing something or playing a musical instrument. Or you might be here today because you're a parent who tried to help their autistic children in different ways, but with very little progress. Or maybe you're on a waiting list for different therapies, but you are aware that the more they are waiting, it's not particularly in their advantage, to wait for years and years, and you would like to help your child right now. Or you might be a professional who is aware of the amazing mental, psychological, and physiological role of singing nursery rhymes, but you might feel stuck to one or two nursery rhymes and you'd like to learn some more so that you can use musical games in your practice and achieve positive results with the children you're working with. And whatever your motivation is for being here today, I fully support you and thank you very much for joining us. And I hope you'll find lots of value in what we do today. Who am I? I'm the founder of Sing, Create, Play, Music with Pots and Pans. It started over the pandemic. And at the same time, I developed as well Autism Music Academy, which focuses mostly on autistic children, but also any other children with special needs. But what I'd like you to know about me is that I love teaching children. I've been a qualified teacher for 20 years in schools and worked with so many abilities children, and I've noticed how music helped all of them in different areas. So I started making videos for them. I've started helping them achieve their goals through music. Today you will leave this meeting knowing exactly why music is crucial for the development of your child. And when I talk about music, as you can see from my videos, it's not that I'm sitting there and singing and expecting them to sing back. You can see that I'm using lots of props that help because words are all abstract, and little children in general won't do very well with abstract things. Autistic children are very good at visual props, so I'm using all of these in my sessions with the parents and the children, all the props that will help them understand the words a bit better and understand singing a bit better.
To live my life as a human being, nothing is more important than being able to express myself.
Now, I don't know if you read the book or you saw the documentary for The Reason I Jump. It's a book written by Naoki Higashida, and they've also done a documentary earlier on this year. And this was my take from the whole book and documentary: to live my life as a human being. Nothing is more important than being able to express myself. Now, can you imagine how would your world be? How would your life or a day be if you're not able to express what you want? If you're not able to express your needs? Let me know in the comments how it feel. But I guess it won't be a very pleasant day for you if you're not able to express how you feel. And it's the same for our children with special needs, for autistic children who are not maybe not speaking yet, or maybe not having enough language to express the way they feel, or maybe having enough language, but this doesn't mean that they are aware of what's going on in their little body or their little brain. So however, we can help our children. We can directly show them how to express themselves all the times. And we can do this by using music. I've been doing it for 22 years now in my practice and in my teaching. And music can reach our brain because it actually reaches multiple areas of the brain at the same time. If one area of the brain is damaged, for example, or understimulated or underdeveloped, then music doesn't just stop in there and gives up. It just reaches other areas of the brain who will develop new neuronal connections. And thus, the brain gets activated through music and actually grows. So I encourage the children that I'm working with to express the way how they feel through a song with actions. They also practice socializing skills with musical games. They release anxiety with different strategies using musical games. And through all of these, we teach cooperation. We teach building flexible thinking, which is not easy for the autistic brain, who seems to get stuck in the same routine. And you might say to me that my child listens to music on TV. I don't need to make music with them. Or you might say my child is nonverbal and he can't sing. What's the point of singing? Or you might say my child doesn't like music because every time when I'm putting music, he walks away or covers his ears. Or you might say, oh, we are on the waiting list for other therapies. We don't need to start music. And I'll answer all of these thoughts in just a minute. You can see me and my daughter in there. She was the first one I helped with speech and language. Now, let's go to the 5 minutes musical game that we've done. I started by getting your attention, by just tapping our knees and inviting you to come and play with me. Said, come on, friends, come and tap your knees with me, nice and steady. Are you ready? Now, tapping, it's something that happens regularly at a steady beat and helps with organizing your thoughts, with grounding your body, and the same with autistic child's thoughts. And if your child is non-verbal, there's no particular point in the beginning to sing lots of words to them, words that don't make sense, and they might not even hear them properly. It's a lot better to start just by humming and by using some repeated syllables. Like I started with humming, and then I used dum dum dara, and then later on you can introduce some words. But this is something that's called the speech and language and communication pyramid. And actually, speech and language starts by building different blocks, let's call them. So we start by attention and listening, play and interaction, understanding language, using language, and this doesn't mean using words, it means using repeated syllables or using any onomatopoeias like meow, meow, vroom, vroom, things like that. And then finally at the top would be the words. So what I did in the little game was attention and listening. If I'm not grabbing this from a child, they won't be able to do any of the steps and they won't engage. So it has to be something that you get their attention. And then I kind of skipped all of these because playing a game includes playing an interaction and understanding a little bit of the even of the non-verbal language, me tapping and giving them cues that this is their turn. And I kind of skipped to step 2 by using the syllables and then moved to step 3. But in real life, if I work with a non-verbal child, it will take a while for moving from humming to syllables and then to speech. Let's see. Why do I keep saying that music works? I'll give you, and music activates the brain. I'll give you an example. So these are different functions of the brain. You can see them in here. This is like the prefrontal cortex. And if you think of a game like Hokey Cokey, I put in there, hopefully everybody knows Hokey Cokey. So when you start singing, you also do the actions. You put your right hand in. So then the brain, this part of the brain, which is a large part, gets activated because the words are also accompanied by the actions. If we were to use only speech, just the words like I'm using now, is just this little area of the brain activated, which is really, really small. But if we use actions or if we use visual props, we also activate this area of the brain. And then obviously we move. We say, put your right hand in, then this area of the brain gets activated. Yes, it also gets the hearing with the speech activated as well. And then you do lots of actions which will include the memory processing, because you will need to remember. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you give it all, you shake it all about, you do hokey cokey, you turn around. So it's all of this. And then along to the movement coordination, you have the move itself. So just by playing a little game, you can see how the whole brain got engaged. And then you have decision making, because the brain will actually think, am I going to do this? Am I going to put my right in? Am I not going to put it? Which one is my right? Which one is my left? Which way shall I turn when it goes turn around? So this, along with the planning and attention, gets involved as well. So technically, just through this little game, only the smell and the taste sensors or neurons in our brain are not challenged. The heart rate and the breathing, of course, will get activated as well through just this little game. And if your child is not there, don't worry. My little game in the beginning, just with the humming, involved all of the brain as well. And I keep talking about the importance of music because I can't think of another activity that will develop and work on the whole brain at the same time. Can you think of an activity that will do that? I mean, if we play with Play-Doh, all of these won't be engaged. If we, I don't know, I really can't think of anything. Music is the one that really engages all the brain. And let's see if actually I have so great results with the children that I'm working with. And I've recently worked with a little girl from India, and from a nonverbal child, she started verbalizing and making noises after 2 weeks after I worked with her, which was amazing. And just think of the progress a child could make in 3 months of singing with them 10 minutes a day, or even a year of singing, with them for just 15 minutes maximum per day, while you wait for speech and language therapy, for example, or while you wait for the mental health team to come to you because your child might have such maybe aggressive outbursts, or lashing out and things like that. I will just show you very quickly, hopefully it will load up, the progress that my daughter made. See, it's loading up. This is her on a video that I recorded, and it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube and on Facebook, and it's actually been done on the 23rd of April 2020. And you can see how she's miming some of the words, but not able to say them. She's just kind of copying my the way how my lips and my jaw moves, and you can see how she was not able to say the words and maybe just making some noises at some point, because actually she was 4 and she was not talking, and we've been rejected for speech and therapy when she was 3, and at the age of 4, when we've done the referral, the pandemic started. So actually we just waited and waited until I decided not to wait and take some action. Play your drum with me, play your drum, play your drum, play it just like me, play it just like me, cha-cha-cha. Tapping now. Tap your drum, tap your drum, tap your drum with me. Tap your drum, tap your drum, tap it just like me. Tap your drum, tap your drum, tap it just like me. Tap it just like me. Cha-cha-cha. On your head, on your head, on your... And then this is her in July, again documented on Facebook and YouTube. And you can see that she's a beginner. She's just started talking, because you will hear her voice cracking. You will hear that she has speaking and breathing issues because she doesn't know quite when to breathe. She's just a beginner. Words are not so clear. Consonants are not so articulated. But the progress was fantastic, and it was her progress, and then all my friends' progress, because everybody could see her progress, and then all my friends came and say, "Can you help my child?" Right, I'll just listen to it. I noticed that she was passionate about singing, so that's why I started. Why was I told to be like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I let it go. Why is electric? Because it's it's easy what is the window over white. So why children are confused, and some children find it so difficult to speak without help? It's because we have a confusing body language. When we tell them to do something, we also confuse them with our body language. When we speak at a very fast pace, like I'm speaking now, and all the children here, it's a blurring, slurring word that never finish. We also have confusing vocal tones. Sometimes we would say tidy up. Sometimes we would say tidy up. Sometimes we would say, come on, tidy up. And all of this is just confusing, because if we remember about the autism brain and autistic children, they like repetitive things. They like doing the same thing the same way. And all our language does is just confusing us, confusing them. If the activities don't have, if the language activities you want to do with them, or any activities you want to do with them, don't offer them an opportunity to lead as well, they will lose their interest, because who would want to do, who on this earth, would want to do only what the other person asks you to do, and you don't have any opportunity to express yourself. So anyway, when we speak, we don't particularly use visuals. There's no routine in the way we speak, and all of this is just confusing for any little child who's learning to speak, and especially for autistic children. When we include music, music has a steady self-regulating beat. We can't particularly sing, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, we just have to keep that steady beat all the time, and that helps with self-regulating, with calming, with organizing the brain of the autistic child. Music is patterned, so it offers a patterned way of communication. Music requires attention to detail, something that autistic children can really focus on. Music offers a routine, and it will always be there. Music offers leading opportunities for the child, because they can show you what they are interested in, singing about. They can show you or share with you or choose who's going to sleep next. I usually put some toys in front of them and say, who's going to go to sleep now? Is it the duck or the cat? And then they choose which one. So that's an opportunity for them to lead, to choose how the game is continuing. Music offers a schedule, because that's what music is all about, is direct communication via sound. Music offers visuals, because all the time when you are singing, you have to do the actions, definitely. And another thing that is about music is that it's available now. It's in your home. You can do it. You can use the videos from my YouTube channel, or you can use any videos from the YouTube channel, but you will need to learn the songs by yourself, so you can do them at a slower rate. You saw how I was singing with my daughter. It was a very slow, steady song, because if you're going to sing to them, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long, which is great fun for neurotypical children. But children with delays, they won't hear the words clearly. So you'll have to slow down a lot and sing a lot slower. For one of the games that is a beginner's game for your child is I play the drum, can you play the drum? Or in this case, I said, Bella plays the drum, can you play the drum? And it includes attention and listening and playing and interaction, and some bits, of course, of understanding language. But it's a very important game, because it develops and teaches turn taking. When I played the beginners game for you, the beginning games game for you, I showed you when it was your turn. If you can stop sharing, Valenza, please. I showed you when it was your turn. I said your turn. One of the things with children with speech delays, or with children who are not able to express themselves, is that they don't know when their turn to speak is. So they just don't speak at all, or they just don't respond at all. So teaching when it's their turn, it's really, really important, and giving them the chance to join in and wait for them between 30 and 1 minute or nearly 2 minutes for them to respond, it's a great opportunity of showing them this is their turn, this is their space to react at what you're doing, to say some words, to make some noises. And that's how they are going to learn that actually, oh, somebody takes into account what I'm saying, so I better interact next time. So anyway, this is called we're going to move to some games and some examples. This is called I Can Play the Drum, Can You Play the Drum? And you can play anything with your child. It doesn't have to be a drum. It can be a pan. It can be a bottle, anything that your child is interested in. You can even have a toy, their favorite toy, and you can play these similar songs. So it goes like this. Bella plays the drum. Can, let's call him George. Can George play the drum? And I move the drum towards them. So how I started it, I took the drum all to myself in here and I said, Bella plays the drum. So they understand this is my turn. Can George play the drum? And I offer him. And I just wait there, you know, if the child is doing any motion towards the drum, even if they didn't touch it, or if they mess about with the drum, whatever they do, that's their turn, then I take it back. Bella plays the drum. Can George play the drum? And I give them the opportunity again to play. And I keep doing this back and forth until they really understand when it's their turn. And then if there's a variation, I can put the drum in the middle, for example, and just have it in the middle. And I might just tip it slightly, you know, just slightly to myself when it's my turn and slightly to them when it's their turn. And if they are ready for it, then I just put the drum in the middle. I take my hands off. I keep them in my lap. And when it's my turn, I play. When it's their turn, I encourage them to play. So when they are really able to do this, this is play interaction and socializing, you know, and it's done in 3 steps. So it has to be broken down into so many steps, each little action that you are doing with them. And each little game, you have to think, how can I break it down even more, and then break it down even more and make it really to the basic level for them, to make sure that they are ready for that and they can do it, you know. And then you can move them a slightly bit, move them, you know, towards achieving their goal, you know, move them closer to achieving whatever your goal you have. But without turn taking, they won't understand what communication is without teaching turn taking, because that's what communication is all about. And that's what talking with somebody is all about. You say something, I listen, I wait for my turn, and then it's my turn to say something. And it's all of this back and forth conversation. And if they can't speak, they can't do that. But they can play the drum and understand when it's their turn. And then you keep developing all of these social and interactive skills and attention and listening. And you build the language, because with the game that I played in the beginning, you can also, after the humming, you can also go into maybe going meow, meow, meow instead of are you sleeping, if they are passionate about the cats. So it will go meow, 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 tap your knees, meow, meow, meow. And you give them a chance to say something. And if they don't say meow, 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 if they just say ow, or anything, or you say, yeah, that's it. And then you move forward to the next bit, because they might not be able to copy and imitate all your noises that you are doing. But definitely they will benefit of any noise that they will make. They will develop those muscles. They will understand how to control the jaw, the lips, the teeth, the tongue as well. because actually all the muscles that music is using, that singing is using, are the muscles that speaking is using. There are 100 muscles involved in singing or speaking, doesn't really matter which one, but there's 100 of them. So it's really difficult for little ones to control, understand how to move all of that. And the great way of understanding a little bit more about our mouth and teeth and tongue and lips and cheeks and jaw is to do some of these singing and silly actions and silly songs, like, you know, meow, 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 woof, woof, and any of those in front of a mirror or on the selfie mode of your camera, because then the children can really see how their lips and jaw and all the articulators are moving. Why do I also recommend music for the whole development of the child, not particularly speech, even though I'm talking about speech a lot in this session, is because under fMRI machines, scientists and neuroscientists have noticed that the autistic brain have very good neuronal connections in the back of the back parts of the brain. The neurons fire rhythmically, they fire efficiently. And that's why in the picture in here, you can see why the autistic children are so good with their vision and why do they like touching or chewing on everything, and why they are good, you know, at these tasks. But the prefrontal cortex of their brain is not as well developed. The neurons fire randomly, they are disorganized. And sometimes because they are disorganized, they get overwhelmed, they get it gets to sensory overload and contributes to the high levels of anxiety. Now, if somebody has a disorganized brain, what would be the best input for them? What would be the best stimulus for them? Would it be something that is disorganized, something that is not repeated, something that is confusing, like our speech and our words, which are abstract and to them makes no sense? Or actually this brain, in order to organize itself, it needs steady and repeated and very organized information. I hope you agree with me that it needs that organized information. And one of the ways the information can get to the brain really in an organized way is music. If you want your children, little ones, autistic or not, or children with delays or different needs, to put their shoes on to go to school, and you tell them, let's put your shoes on, it's school time, I'll help you just get started, or I'll help you enough, it's your turn to finish now, or things like that. It's so much information. It's all disorganized and randomly because yesterday when you told them to put their shoes on, you told them in a different way. But if you have a simple routine songs, which I encourage you to use with your children a lot throughout the day in your routine, it's a lot better. So if you have a routine song that says, I don't know, Polly, put your shoes on, Polly, put your shoes on, Polly, put your shoes on, it's school time. And when tomorrow comes, you'll sing it the same way, and that's it. And then day after tomorrow will come, you'll sing it the same way. The child would get the same steady regulated input to organize their brain. Plus, if you are speaking to a child and their speech neurons are understimulated, underdeveloped, delayed, then you're speaking, the words are not even getting in here, the words have no meaning. But if you're singing to a child and doing some actions, music has this power of getting in the right-hand side of the brain, connecting the right-hand side of the brain with the left-hand side, engaging the whole brain. And if the speech can't function and is not functioning properly, then maybe the movement is functioning, maybe the touch, maybe the vision, maybe the movement coordination, maybe the memory processing is neurons are better fired, and then the child would do what you are asking them. Oopsie. Let's see. What it says in here is that to encourage speech and communication, after you develop attention and you get their attention first, you imitate your child's sounds, gestures. You use big gestures, big actions when you sing with them, because words need to be visual. You saw me using Play-Doh at some point while singing. I was singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And for each word, I was putting a blob or a ball of Play-Doh for the child to see that the words are visual. Slow down your speech. This is a big, big one. You want to talk to them about their day. You want to tell them something. Slow down. Use basic, simple sentences, 3, maximum 4 words. Give them 30 seconds at least to respond. And if they don't respond, don't worry about it. It's time for processing those 30 seconds. They need time to process the language, because if you see, where's the back one, if you see in here, processing speech is in this part of the brain that is not fired properly. Memory processing is also in this part, which means they have to remember, all the sentences that, the words that you said, in order for them to make sense of the words. And teach turn taking and requesting. So if your child, I know that there are some children who like singing to their parents. So for example, you can sing to them a question. For example, when it's snack time, you can ask them, would you like some milk, or would you like some grapes? Would you like some milk, or would you like some grapes? And then you give them time to process. You can also teach them the answer back. I would like some grapes. I would like some grapes. Hey ho, Dario, I would like some grapes. Is this, if this is too difficult, see what happens if I speak fast. If this is difficult, then you just say, I would like some grapes, please. Anything that's sung, you can teach your child to answer to you by singing, because if that's what they can do for this moment, then let them do it. And when you are talking, if you have the opportunity, or when you are singing, use all of these. Use drawings, use buttons, use feathers, use big actions, use Play-Doh, use cups, anything that they are interested in, put it in front of them. Because again, in the book that I said in the beginning, Naoki said that words are so abstract to him. They are floating somewhere in the air, and he can't decide which one to pick and in which order it should be, in order for him to make a sentence and say what he wants. And I didn't say that he wrote the book by being nonverbal. He wrote the book being nonverbal when he was 13 years old. So he was just amazing. And just because he couldn't speak, it didn't mean that he couldn't express himself. Now, a child won't start speaking, engaging, socializing, unless he feels really confident in what he was doing. So I have this little game for children who are not confident. I talk about the monsters in their brains, and I talk about the good monster and the monster, who is not so friendly, and he keeps telling us, no you can't, no you can't. If you can stop sharing, so I have my props in here. I use absolutely anything. I don't have a particular monster or anything. So in this case, I have this happy fellow, and he will be the good one. And then I have this one. And children just love the visuals. Sometimes they find out their own names and so on and so forth. And I just say that sometimes we have some thoughts in our brain that tell us, oh, it would be lovely if we make a card for somebody. But then, we know that a card involves, I should be doing some writing, I should be holding the pen, all of these things difficult for me. So then we have the monster in our head telling us, no, you can't do that. And I developed a little song. Of course, we have a discussion about it and so on. I use the visuals, and I sing this song with them. Oh no, you can't. Oh yes, I can. Oh no, you can't. Oh yes, you can. Yes, I 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 can. It's all about this, positive mindset, mindfulness, anything you want to say. But if you practice it long enough with your children, they'll become a bit more confident. And believing in themselves and what they can do. And it's one of the things, isn't it? If we don't believe we can do it, or how's that saying? If you believe you can and believe you can't, both are true, something like that. And it's true. If we're not teaching them to be, aware of their thoughts, and how to be their own cheerleader, it's really tricky for them to kind of pick that up from the air, isn't it? And another game that I use a lot with releasing anxiety, because in order for a child to thrive, as I said, they have to be confident. They have to believe in themselves. They have to believe they can do it. Put themselves forward. Initiate that task or that discussion or that socializing thing, like saying hello to a friend. They need to really practice this a lot through the socializing games, like taking turns that I was showing you, and they also need to believe in themselves. But if they are put in front of a situation and their brain goes into flight, fight, freeze mode, and the anxiety kicks in, the panic kicks in. This doesn't help. And if they are building frustration, after that, that they, maybe at the end of a school day, they are building frustration. They've had a really hard, difficult day. I have a balloon game, that I like playing. But honestly, you can use anything: a pan, a table, a chair to drum on. And if you can stop sharing, please. One of the benefits of this game with the balloon that I like using is the fact that if I am telling the little children I'm working with, children under 8 years old, if I'm telling, let's take some deep breaths, because I see they are either anxious or frustrated or really, really annoyed, it's kind of none of them are listening to me, or maybe they do a that's their deep breath, and actually they didn't take any deep breaths. But if I use a balloon and say, we're gonna blow this balloon up, did you see what I did? That's it. That's how they took the deep breaths. And the benefit of it is that what happens is they might not hold it properly, and oh no, goes small again. They have to take deep breaths again. And by the time they manage to blow it, they've taken at least 10 deep breaths in, which helps a lot as well. And then finally, we blow it up. We can draw, faces on them. This is supposed to be like a sleepy one. This is like whatever emotion you want to be, but it's supposed to be a surprised or excited one. And then we do some drumming on it. And while we do the drumming, hopefully it stays here, I go again into a positive mindset and mindfulness. And I start by saying, repeat after me, repeat after me. And then I make, silly voices like, I am strong, I am strong. And I give the child an opportunity to say, your turn. And I still drum with them. And whatever they are struggling with through the day. So, for example, I am a good friend. I am a good friend. If they think they are not a good friend, or I have a little one who's calling herself stupid all the time. So we are going into mindfulness, saying, I am clever, or I am smart. Any of this, again, direct teaching of these skills that you can do at home, and you can do it in the car, you can do it just when you wait for the dinner to cook, you can do it while they brush their teeth, I don't know, you can do it anywhere and just fit it in your day. You only need a few minutes for it. And I think that's it. I just want to finish by highlighting the music benefits for any children in general, but I said there for autistic children, and I started with alleviating anxiety. That's because anxiety is one of the things that the autistic brain develops, just because the autistic brain has a larger amygdala, which is one of the parts of the brain responsible, with the surviving mode. And it's really difficult, near to impossible, for autistic children and autistic people to control their anxieties and their worries unless we are really practicing with them for years and years these strategies of mindset and calming. And then other benefits, helps with decision making, practice social skills, meltdowns, minimizing, confidence booster. This is such a great one. Speech and language, engages the whole brain, motor skills development, and promotes leadership skills. Yeah. Now, my question to you is, what will you do with the information today? You can go and do more research. You could look for a music teacher to help your child with different goals, with their development. You can look for a music therapist if you, can find one. They are very precious. You could start by doing music activities today in your home. That's what I encourage you to do. I showed you how. I'll continue to show you how. So you can start helping your child right now, because every day matters and early intervention is crucial for the development of children. So we go to Q&A. You can see more videos of videos that I did for autistic children, and they can be found on my YouTube channel. Let me know if you have any questions.
Wonderful, Bella. Thank you so much for that informative talk. Yeah, so let's open it up. We have a few people attending, watching live. So any questions on that? It was a lot of information, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a lot, wasn't it?
No, amazing. That's the goal.
Yeah, I'm always trying to make it shorter, but then I'm saying, I just need to say that. I need to say the other one.
No, yes, definitely. And if there are no questions today, that's okay. I'll be sending around a little impact form to those who have registered to kind of get more information about what was useful, and if there's anything we want to cover in future sessions or workshops. So Bella said she's happy to come down to London to do some in-person workshops, or we can do some more virtual workshops, maybe targeting different things like anxiety or confidence. Yeah. So yeah, we can leave it open. But I'll give everyone a few seconds if there are questions. Oh, we got a comment. Really enjoyed this. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Bella, will the slides from today be made available? Is it okay if we send those around?
You can send them, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And I think I found, what is your YouTube page for those that are interested? Do you want to put it in the chat?
Yeah, yes. It's just Sing, Create, Play. I haven't done the Autism Music Academy because it's really tricky to manage all the YouTube channels.
Oh, yeah.
So I started with Sing, Create, Play, and that's where all of them are. A bit confusing. Actually, let's see if I can send you a direct link, or you just want the name of the channel.
I guess you can see the name for those that are watching right now and those who are watching the recording, and I'll be happy to include, I think I have your social media handles and everything, and a little PDF of intro to music games, so we can include that as well. So I'll be sure to include it in if you're watching the recording here and the follow-up. Okay, and then we have Elaine. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Really interesting. Lots of ideas to help my youngest. Even thinking of singing, drumming, maths, for example, times tables, as he thinks he's stupid and can't do math, even spelling.
Yeah. You know, bingo, we were doing everything with my daughter that way. She learned her name. She couldn't write, she couldn't say other words, but she could spell her name because we were singing it on the bingo song, bingo. And yes, when I was teaching in school, every maths we were doing, any multiplication, number bonds, anything, to be honest, addition, I was using rap music that we were just making it up, and learning reading, blending words like act, we were making it into a rap song as well, for children to learn to blend. And yes, everything was a lot easier with a little song, definitely. Thank you, Elaine.
Great. Okay. I guess we'll end the session there. Thank you so much, Bella, for your time, as always. Like I mentioned, if you're interested in a future talk or future workshops, we can host those virtually and potentially in person. And then otherwise, I'll include all the sort of resources, links to Bella's socials and the like. So thank you, Bella. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We'll see you soon.
See you. Thank you very much for inviting me.